I'll do
What's your fifth?
fifth is Villain Park, The Recipe. It is a really good mix of like old styled hip hop and new styled hip hop. I'm not usually huge on older style songs. Like obviously I still like some of them, you know, Stan for example that we had a look at just last week. That's you can't not like it. But for the most part they kind of just bore me, and I think it's partly due to the flows. They're a little bit like outdated. Nowadays I think flows are very fluid, like they change quite rapidly, and you know it's not like you're stuck in one rhyme pattern for a whole verse.
Yep.
But this project here, for the most part, has older style production with newer flows being spit over the top of them. Every now and then they'll have a track where the production's a little bit more newer, and throughout the album they'll have little breaks where they do use like older style flows. But it is very fluid in its style. It doesn't stick to just one sound like a lot of artists do. It probably does help that there's two of them. There's Smokey and Bunge.
Smokey and Bunch.
Yeah. But the sounds that those two create together are really interesting. There's two intro tracks at the start of the project, but the first actual song you hear opens up to just both of them chanting, "Hey, hold up, we got the shit sold up," and it's pretty fun to chant along with. And then Bunge comes in with some fire. I cannot rap it as fast as he can. But he says, little neighbour on the block with a dream, with a pen in his hand and I'm plotting a scheme. And neighbours want to throw jabs like a box in the ring, but I'm rocky with mine, or like Pac in his prime. With my middle fingers up because I don't give a fuck, like them neighbours in the hood with the beam, that'll pull up on your set like Suge on the scene. And like, the contrast of that high energy, fast rapping, like I slowed it down because like I'm not a very lyrical man. Cannot make my mouth move that fast. So the contrast of that like high energy fast rapping over like the low key beat is just straight up actual fire. Stuck on It is another really good example of them combining new with old. I'm going to play a little bit of that. I'm going to skip forward to about 1 minute 35.
Bros, I can't stop eating these. Alright, I'm stopping after this one.
Have you turned?
Oh no way. Like, I'm gotta flipping around. But I almost ate the whole pack.
Do you like them, or like just are they still just okay?
No, it tastes pretty fire.
Maybe it's like the more you eat kind of thing.
Yeah. No more.
Alright. So getting back to Stuck on It.
Yep.
So it's pretty low key. Skipping forward to 1 minute 35. So that's quite like Slim Shady-esque.
Yeah.
And that's like fairly new styled production as well, like the very airy sort of high pitched piano notes. And yeah, like I can't really think what's modern in it. I just poked myself in the eye with this thing. I've got some scissors here. Could you cut this thing off?
Yeah. Alright, you geezer.
Beautiful. Thank you. There's a few like sort of piano, or sorry, like violin plucks, but there's just something about it that's like more modern. Rare Form though, I think that's peak. They just trade verses for the whole track. There's no chorus. 5 verses in total, 2 to Bunge and 3 to Smokey. And before I go on as well, one thing I think I really like about this album is that one artist isn't better than the other. Like they're equal. Like you're not listening to one going, okay, hurry up, pass the mic already. Like obviously on some songs one outshines the other, but for the most part they're very equal lyricists and rappers in general. They bring equal energy, so no matter who's on, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Which I think, yeah, it does help a lot. It's a very level playing field. But yeah, Rare Form has very speedy rapping over some like boom bap drums. The melody is very new. It's got some pretty cool keys. I can't really relate it to anything. It doesn't sound like anything, so I'll just play it. But it's the weird cat thing that I'm referring to. You'll know what I mean immediately. It's I'm skipping to about 26 seconds. on rare form. Yeah, that wow. Then he's got like there's some very just modern noises in there. Like I don't know what that squeak is. Like a old, but it's like an old swing set squeaking or something. There.
Yeah. It's weird. It is weird.
Yeah. So it's very new style production on that. Very like sort of sped up, like modern rapping. Very high energetic, but still with boom bap drums.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very good mix of like old and new. And then like throughout as well, it's got some little record scratches, giving it an older vibe as well. So there's like little touches from each sort of generation thrown in there. It's a very, very easy album to listen to because it's just like, it's unlike a lot of everything else. It's very engaging, and it would have been higher on my list if it weren't for some of the other albums that came out this year.
There you go.
So, yeah, give these guys a listen. They're not super well known at all, and they definitely should be.